see it coming like a fast break. They ain't see it coming like Jordan hitting jumpers. Yeah, they asked me when that new music about to drop. Ain't that what I gave you last week? Yeah, oh, you done it now. Feels like I'm coming.
Hallelujah, holla back. It's the incredible dog, Mr. 100. Welcome to another episode. If it's real, I'll talk about it. The truth, I'm all about it. Now let's get into it. So, I was thinking about what to talk about next, and this person came to mind. And to be honest with you, I'm only sharing a little bit about this guy because he's got so much information about me that could fuel a whole lot of stories on this channel. But I'm not going to do that. This guy that I'm introducing to you now is my older brother named Cheezy. The reason why we call him Cheezy is because I am greater. Nah, I'm just playing with you. His real name is Chisoko Brown Songiso. Yes, Chisoko Brown Songiso. Where Cheezy came from, Chisoko, his friends, started calling him Cheese Boy in South Africa. If you know what Cheese Boy is, it means that he's got a lot of money and is showy and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, this guy was absolutely broke like me. But I guess we didn't look the part, even though we were the part. Anyway, Chisoko became Cheese Boy. Cheese Boy, his friends turned it to Cheezy, and that's how he got stuck with the name Cheezy. Now, I call him Kinte sometimes. Why do I call him Kinte? Well, there was a period of time when he was transitioning from preteen to teenager, or teenager to whatever it is. But anyway, his face grew somewhat interesting to the point where my father called him Face of Africa. Talk about trauma. They called him Face of Africa for a period of time. I just changed Face of Africa to, Kunta Kinte, because Kunta Kinte was the figure of African American hero, or rather strong African, considered at the time other than Shaka Zulu.
I want the throne.
And well, there were many others, but I think I was watching Roots at the time, so Kunta Kinte came to me.
His name should be Toby.
I met Cheezy when I was in the 9th grade. How was that possible? Well, Chisoko is my brother, but he is my half-brother. I remember before meeting him, my aunt, what's the Congolese music called again? Rumba, right? Yes, rhymes with that. My aunt and other people in my dad's house were saying my dad's got other kids and so on and so forth, and I just felt like, no, you just want to ruin this man's name. He doesn't have other kids elsewhere or anything like that. Lo and behold, I came back from Northview High School. I walk into the living room.
Do you guys mind if I start?
And there's this guy sitting on my favorite couch, and I'm like, yo,
That's where I sit.
I was a little rude person when I was younger, that's for sure. He moved out of my seat and sat all gentleman-like and everything, and my aunt, who rhymes with Rumba, came in and said, hey, why don't you be like your brother? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And that's how I met my brother Chisoko on that exact day. And I thought, man, this kid is impressive because he's sitting all professional, sit like Leo and not like Jumbo. So he came in, all well behaved. Everyone in the family was like, this is a good boy. Mulako, why don't you be like this guy? And I was like, what? Not long before then, Cheezy tells me how much money he got coming back from Zambia, and I'm just like, yo, let's go buy some alcohol. Ethanol, Jesus juice, miracle juice. Let's call it that. Let's go get some miracle juice. So my cousins came to visit us. Let's call them John and James. So John and James came to visit us, and Cheezy had some money. So we went ahead and bought some miracle juice. So James, John, myself, and Chisoko went to the park in Kelvin. Little did we know that we were going to meet people who we were going to cross shoulders with at the new school that we were going to attend in the years to come.
That felt good.
But we didn't know that. So here's my brother walking all around, and we were all a little bit on the south side of tipsy. But he was worse. He came in with that energy of nobody knows me. I don't care. I'ma do what I want. He was on some Steve Urkel vibes and doing things that technically get you in trouble, but he got away with it somehow. I remember him brushing his hand on someone else's girlfriend, and we almost got in trouble because of that, and we had to get him out of that situation. It was just like, I'm okay, type of situation. And John and I ended up leaving that space, and we went away, and we're just like, yeah, whatever.
We were chasing tail.
And by the time we got back home, my uncle, Big Show, got home with Chizzy. And he told me what happened. He was like, look, I found Chizzy at the park. His head was on the road and his body was in the grass. Mulako was nowhere to be seen. Well, if I must be honest, I was not a good kid at the time. I was like, yeah, if we lose him, well, so be it. It's okay. I only know this guy for like a day or two, so I was a terrible kid. Like I said, we thank God for Jesus. When he got home and my dad was questioning him, and everybody was questioning him, like, what happened? Where did you go? And he was just like, no, somebody at the park gave me chocolate milk, and I drank that chocolate milk. I think it was expired, so I got sick. This guy lied. He straight up lied. He lied to their faces. He told them it was chocolate milk, but he knew he was drinking alcohol. And my dad's like, yes, they gave him alcohol. It was Amarula. It was Amarula that they made him drink. That's why he got drunk. Meanwhile, this boy knows he's been drinking all those times. He's acting like he doesn't drink. But for me, on that day, I gained respect for him. Because he could have told on me and said, yeah, Mulako actually left me at the park for dead. I didn't know my way home. I didn't know how I was going to find my way home or anything like that. And Mulako left me here. He should get in trouble. And he didn't do that. Ever since that day, we became super close and super tight. We actually even had this car washing business called Half and Half Brothers. And our biggest supporter was Box the Fox. That car wash business ended the day when Box the Fox went cashless and started using cards instead.
See, we didn't only wash the cars, we knew that there was money stuck within the seats. But once there was no money in the seats, there was no point in washing the cars. The payment that they were giving us was not even enough for us to wash the cars.
But yeah, I know most of you are like, but Allah, how could you leave your brother at the park like that? Again, I was a troubled child. And second, he also left me once upon a time for dead. At the exact same park, we were coming back from Northview High School, and this time we were both on the south side of Tipsy again. We were tipsy and were walking down the same park, and these two guys stopped and were just like, hey, can we have a word with you guys? And I'm like, okay. I stopped and I walked close to the guy, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground. This guy swept my leg and put me on the floor. The next thing I look up, Chisoko is already on his way, running away 100-meter dash. This guy left me for dead. I wasn't thinking straight, and I had a little bit of liquid courage. I was brave enough to stand up to this guy who had a knife to my gut.
When I was down there, I remember a time when we were coming out of Northview and a couple of guys were trying to steal money from us. So I was broke, I had nothing on me. And this guy come to my pockets and Chisoko was like, yo, you must ask me nicely. I didn't have money. Chizzy had all his money. He had saved up a lot and he was about to lose everything. This was like, yo, you need to ask nicely. First. And he took out a few rands and gave this guy. I thought I would do the same thing. When I was on the ground, I said, hey, yo, you must ask first. Me nicely. I gave him a bit of an Oreo cookie to say, hey, you can have some. Long story short, I walked out of that situation making a friend out of this guy who was trying to rob me. And as I was walking towards Chisoko, I see Cheezy coming back with this guy like they're friends, with the other guy who was chasing. I saw Chisoko bolt away from me, leaving me for dead. The other guy chased after Chisoko,
while this other guy was on top of me because he swept me off of the floor with the knife to my gut. And then I see Cheezy coming back with this guy, and I'm walking towards Cheezy with the other guy, and they introduce themselves. His name is Psycho and something like that. So just like, okay. And now Cheezy and I made friends out of these guys who were trying to rob us. And we got a little bit of protection inside Kelvin because of this guys. Like, if anything were to happen to us in Alexander or in Kelvin, we should just holler at Psycho, and he's going to get our backs. The adventures that Cheezy and I have are numerous. I could tell you about the time at BB's place, or the time when I snuggled narcotics, the time when he got slapped in his own home, or how since we shared a room, he would keep the room dirty, and whenever I go on holidays, he would decide to clean up the room so that it would look like I'm the one who keeps the room dirty. Or when we stole our sister's chocolate, melted it down, and ate it at a time later when we found out that our stepmom bought our sister's chocolate and took them out and left us at home. Or the time when this guy helped me out in proposing to my wife. All needs to say is there's a lot of stories that I have with this guy. And ending this story, I just want to say happy birthday to my brother. The only reason I'm making this is because I said happy birthday 30 days earlier, publicly. So I made this to say happy birthday, publicly. And you know I have a lot of dirt on you, as much as you've got a lot of dirt on me. You may be my older, younger brother, but man, you are a brother. Hallelujah, holla back, keep it 100. Till the next episode.
That's all, folks.